everyone, this is Introvert Shy Guy, and welcome to my gameplay vlog of
Super Mario Galaxy!
Actually, funny enough, this actually happened before, and it was on cue, but I kind of talked over it, and I didn't really notice. So, I mean, I don't know. Just thought I want to just do it again, even though it was on purpose. So, yeah, as you know, I have finished Super Mario Sunshine, and right now I'm just going to do a few gameplay vlogs, because... Wait a minute. Why isn't it working? Hold on. There's both A and B. Oh. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that happened. It was just not working for a bit, but now it is. So yeah, anyway, since that summer is actually close and approaching, so that means my brother would soon have no school. So basically I'm just going to do a few gameplay vlogs, and then I'll do the main series, main gameplay series a little later. I think maybe until I have my own apartment, or probably not, because like I don't want to travel from where I live to Tampa, so I don't really want to, you know, do it all the time. I mean, preferably, like, I'm wondering, did I unlock the top area? I don't know, it's been a while since I did this. I think not, but... Oh yeah, okay, not yet. This is the next world I gotta go to. So, yeah. So I guess, just that now, well, basically, I did say in my last gameplay video that I was gonna talk about stuff about girls and stuff, and maybe a little bit of Darling in the Franxx, but first I actually wanna... I'm just choosing a world. First I actually want to talk about basically a little something, is that, as you know, I am kind of an introvert, as said in my YouTube channel, Introvert Shy Guy. Basically, for those of you that, I mean, actually, I will say this just right on out, that I actually don't have any friends. And I will say that even though I don't have any friends, I'm actually okay with it, and I actually prefer, like, having no friends, basically. And the reason why I say this is that, I mean, I don't know, I just feel kind of fine, like, you know, just like not having any friends and like living, you know, on my own and stuff. Because, I mean, here's the thing, honestly, I just have no interest in hanging around with, like, guys and stuff. Like, I really don't see the appeal in hanging around with just males and stuff. That's why I only just want a girlfriend, and not, like, and not, just only a girlfriend, and that's it, basically. And I would be actually fine with it. And, so basically I always live, like, you know, live alone and stuff. Compared to my brother, where he actually does have a lot of friends. He even goes over for sleepovers and stuff. You know, funny, the thing is though, whenever he does sleepovers, it's always unplanned. He just does it, and he never has any, like, pajamas with it. Usually, like, when he's hanging out with friends and stuff, he never has, like, pajamas with him and everything, so that means he always sleeps with his clothes on and stuff. So I always thought that was pretty strange, but that's because whenever he does do a sleepover, it's always unplanned, and he just does it. Usually when they have nothing to do, like when they're bored or something, I guess, but they mainly do it most of the time. Actually, as recent as last weekend, after they watched Avengers Infinity War, then he basically went over for... Actually, no, I take it back. I realized that he kind of came back home at 2:30 in the morning along with his other friend. That his other friend slept over, by the way. So, yeah, I take it back. I thought he went over for a sleepover, but it turns out he just stayed up. He stayed really late. Anyway, I'm just figuring out what to do. Oh, what is this? Sorry, I just gotta concentrate. What am I supposed to do? Fuck. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, I had to go all the way around. Sorry, like I said, it's been a while since I played this, so I apologize. So now I'm Fire Mario. I love how you kill these guys. Alright, where to go? Oh, that's what I have to do. Okay, wait, let me get the fire flower again. Anyway, so, as you know, I have no friends, but I'm actually okay with it. Cause usually, I actually really enjoy, like, just staying by myself and not, like, really doing much. Though I will say, this wasn't really the only time where... Oh, where's it? Oh, this way. Okay. Yeah, I was actually wondering if that thing was gonna go out because, like, this door stopped me. So there was this one time a long time ago where I used to invite someone over for a sleepover. Believe it or not, this was actually way back. I was like 2 or 3 years old at the time, you know. So I actually have done this a long time ago. So what happened was, of course, and also this was before my brother was born. Was that I actually used to do sleepovers with this one kid who was African American, by the way. So this was actually my first time where I literally had, as Donald Trump would put it, an African American friend, and I actually did, so I actually did have one. Well, used to, obviously. I will explain later, like, you know, of what happened. So anyway, so before back then at the time, I used to have this African American kid that I actually, like, you know, loved to hang out with a little bit. And back at daycare. So this is not like when I was in first grade or anything. It was daycare, and we used to do a lot of fun things a little bit. Shit, I'm always missing. Though there were some times where there was some confrontations and stuff, but I don't know. Most of the time it's relatively good, I would say. So we used to. Fuck, there's so many of these guys. Where is it? Oh, there is a firefly. I thought it was way down. Fuck. You know what? Let's try it again. I think these guys keep on coming because they come out of that box. Yeah, they keep on coming. Alright. There we go. Oh, is there more? Oh, there is. There we go. Got it. So, yeah, we used to do sleepovers and stuff, and actually, believe it or not, my mom was actually also friends with his mom. As a matter of fact, or I wouldn't say, I don't know if friends or co-workers, because, yeah, back when she used to work as a doctor, like, still doing her residency, she did actually knew his mom, basically, so they do used to also hang out and stuff, and they do know each other. Oh shit, now I gotta go the other way. Good. And so I used to do sleepovers. He used to do sleepovers at my place, and I also did sleepovers at his place. The sleepovers at his place was kind of like my least favorite because I normally don't like being by myself. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this happened 1 or 2 times, but my mom had to make me sleep over at his place because, as I said, she still had to do residency and all that other stuff. And at the time, my grandparents weren't there, so... Because sometimes my grandparents usually would come over and take care of me. because like my parents are always busy and stuff. Because they're still, well, I mean, my dad usually had to go to Florida like every week because that was the only state he actually found an official job. While my mom had to still do a residency, and the main reason why like she was a lot later compared to my dad was because, unlike him, my dad actually knew plenty of English more than my mom, and both of them are Syrian, by the way. For those of you who don't know that, you know, both my parents are Syrian immigrants, and my dad knew plenty more English than my mom. So of course she had to start very slow, and while my dad actually knew, like, you know, plenty of what he's doing basically. So because of this, she had to do residency, and that usually there were like times where she had to leave and like work overtime basically, and sometimes she would have to leave me with my African American friend basically. I mean, that's what I'm actually gonna. Actually, friend or African American friend. You know, I don't know. Oh fuck! Damn! Fuck! Just couldn't control it. Okay, at least I start here. That's good. Anyway, so yeah, he sleeps over at my place, I sleep over at his place. Usually, sometimes it's like good and stuff, sometimes not, I don't know. But other than that, it was pretty alright, I would say. So, basically, yeah, I mean, like, we used to hang out, and also there was one time where I had to, of course, also hang out with him, and I think it was his grandma, because I do remember my mom dropped me off there, and she didn't tell me I was actually staying, or maybe she did, but I didn't listen, because I mean, at the time, I was like, my mind was all over the place. I had like ADHD quality, like, you know, attention span back then, so I probably didn't like catch that. And also, I didn't really understand much English words. Also, that could be either. I don't think that has to do with because my parents spoke Arabic, but it was also because I couldn't. At the time, I wasn't really that good with language, you know, because yeah, let's just say I actually did have issues back then. Like, you could consider, like, I was considered autistic, like back then, you know, as I've said, I have social pragmatic communications disorder. Now it's not really considered autism, but back then it used to. So yeah, back then I had autism. Like, you know, hold on, let's see if I can do it over there. Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, obviously I had to stay over at his grandma's place, and it was like alright. The one instance when we went to that playground, this was also that playground I used to always go to whenever I wanted, like, my parents would always take me there to, like, play and stuff. And I remember there was, like, this huge, like, bee, like, just a few feet away from us. Like, it was actually so big, that bee, that I literally saw the black and yellow stripes, or I don't know if that really was a bee, or maybe if that was just my brain, like, because I've never seen a bee like this, and I've seen plenty of insects growing up, as you know, but I've never seen an insect like that, and it looked like a giant bee. But I think, because I remember I was like crying and stuff, saying that I want to have a drink, or I was thirsty, and I was thirsty at the time, but it was ultimately to get away from that bee that was like feet away from us. But she wasn't doing anything. That his grandma and stuff, like, we just stayed there basically. But then again, I don't know if was there really a bee, because I mean, if there was a bee, obviously wouldn't she had to leave, because that's what my main issue was. If that was the case, maybe this was all in my head, you know? I really don't know. It was kind of strange. Anyway, so let's do this. It's like one more level, right? So, what else? So yeah, I mean, even though there were some bad moments with him, like involving him and other stuff, there were also some good moments. and I usually do stay, like, come over at his house and stuff. Even one time, even in times when my mom was, because she had to drop me off because she had to do work and stuff. And I will say this: I was pretty terrified of his dad. Like, I was really scared and intimidated. I mean, of course, he wasn't mean or anything. He was actually, I think he was okay. He didn't really do anything, but because at the time I was like little and like I had this brain of a non-normie that, like, you know, that's how I used to think and stuff, and I was actually always, like, you know, scared of him and stuff and intimidated. Because he was also African American also, so that's another reason. I mean, to be during daycare, daycare was like the only time where I literally first discovered, you know, African Americans, or basically black people in general. And bear in mind, I used to live in Philadelphia for 3 years. At the time, I was born in New York, Manhattan, but then my parents had to move to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania because that was the only place for my mom to complete her residency. And also my dad had to go to Florida. I mean, of course, it was not because of the Florida thing. It was mainly because that was the only state my mom had to do her residency. She couldn't do it in Manhattan, so they moved to Philadelphia. And at the time, I used to go for daycare, and that's where I first met a few African American kids. And honestly, I really didn't like them. Like, I literally thought they were. I know this is gonna sound kind of racist and stuff, but I literally thought they were like deformed humans, I would say. Because there was this one time where there was this one kid that was shirtless, he was like in the bathroom, and he had this like, this extra like skin. It's like, for an example, he was, like, they cut his cord, but they like probably left the other fleshy part, like they didn't get a clean cut, so he still had that. I mean, I don't think he probably did. That was probably my imagination, but that's what my mind like showed at the time. So I literally thought, they were deformed humans, like African Americans or Africans in general, like, you know. So yeah, I was kind of like scared of them, even though I did have an African American friend, but I was still like intimidated and also disgusted by them because they also smelled really bad. Like, you just had that stench of melanin. So yeah, I didn't really found. Oh yeah, no, another thing. Fuck. There's this one daycare worker that was also black, and she used to work at that other daycare place. And if you remember from my last Chibi Robo gameplay, where, oh shit, I think I did too much. Where, you know, my things about, wait. Oh, I didn't get sucked up by a black hole. Where I talk about, like, I think it was cognitive desires or something. Something about cognition, basically. Something about my life back then. Not my life back then, like how I am as a non-normie, excuse me. So yeah, like, there was a daycare worker who was also black. She was like, you know, I would say the head, like the main caretaker, I would say. And she was kind of basically mean, like very authoritarian. And I really didn't like her. I really didn't like her that much. I mean, she was just a complete, like, utter bitch back then. You know, so what happened was, like, of course she was authoritarian, like, very strict. And there was this one time, I'll never forget, I was in the playground, and of course, as you know, I never socialized that much, so what I basically did in the playground, I usually just walk around, like literally like walk around aimlessly, and there's this one part where I put my hands in my pocket, basically, and I was just there, just standing there with my hands in my pocket, and for some fucking reason, she just flicked the back of my head and told me to keep my hands out of my pockets, so I literally just stood there with my hands out, like, you know, both hands out in a forward position, and I literally just stand there with my hands out like that, like, for, I have no idea how long. It actually felt forever, but I literally stood there. That's how bad, like, you know, that daycare place was, and how bad my, I wouldn't say my life was that bad, but I mean, like, to me back then it was miserable. Like, the only times where I felt miserable in my life were back then when I was very little, from when I was 1 to 3 or 4, and also to middle school. Those were the only parts of my life that were complete utter misery. You know, but other than that, everything else was, like, turned out fine in the end. But anyway, so, and another thing was that we went out to some parking lot to play. Like, she brought all the kids and us to play in this some parking lot, and I don't know if some kid or this daycare worker just pointed, like, they did an upward point to this one hill, and for some reason that gave me the impression that I'm supposed to climb that, and it leads to this other place where the apartment complex, basically. So I was climbing, and she saw that daycare worker saw what I was doing, and then, like, shouted, and then just came up, like, really aggressively, by the way, and then just fucking, like, forcibly pulled me down. I don't know, she was absolutely strict. But, and I remember this one time where I had to told that to my parents about this incident, and of course I had to stop midway because I felt too ashamed and embarrassed. They of course kept on urging on and stuff, because they literally thought that she, like, physically abused me. Which, I have to reiterate, she did not. Like, she did not beat me or slap me or anything. She's just very authoritarian and strict. That's basically all I would say. It didn't do any, like, psychological damages or anything, I would say. But my parents thought that. So then when I finally admitted that, like, what she basically did was, like, you know, like, flick the back of my head. Like, she didn't do anything that serious. So then my parents, because they were saying that they knew her and they were going to report her if that was true. But of course, like, what I mentioned wasn't that serious, so of course they didn't do that. And they literally speculated that it was maybe because of race, because she was black and stuff, and they might think that most of the daycare kids were also black. Well, I will say there were some African American kids. There were also a few white kids, so it wasn't because of race. It was mainly because she was just strict. So she didn't really, like, picked on me because I was that white kid, you know? Like, the only white kid. I don't know, I can't really remember. Maybe that was the case. Like, first time I actually experienced, like, racism, like, as a little kid. From a black woman. But nah, I don't think it was racism. I just think she was just strict. But other than that, even though you did hear me, like, call her a bitch and stuff, I will say though is that, like, now I actually do, I do forgive her. And I will say this, is that if I ever, like, somehow, if I actually met her in real life and she notices me and, like, you know, I see her and she actually, like, apologizes for what she's done, not only would I, like, accept her apology and say that I forgive her, I'd actually, honestly, I'd give her a big hug. Cause, like, you know, that's just the kind of guy I am, you know? So yeah, if I ever do meet her in real life, I'll definitely give her a big hug, you know, and tell her I forgive her for, like, even for what she's done. Well, like I said, it wasn't too bad, but to me as a kid, it was very bad. I remember when I was like, I was like very frustrated with one of my lunches because I accidentally touched it and the cream was on my hands, and I just got frustrated that I liked touching it, and then she, like, yelled at me, like, to eat and stuff. I started crying. And then one fucking, like, kid, like, it was like, oh, he's crying like a baby, and, like, you know, and, like, just fuck that kid, honestly. But I mean, like, of course, it's a little kid, but, you know, danger, watch your stuff. But yeah, that was basically my experience with black people and stuff. I know I went off topic from talking about why I don't have any friends to black people, but, like, that's just how I am. But anyway, point is though, yeah, I did have an African American friend, but main thing what I was going about was was like, how I don't have any friends and why I'm okay with it. So of course, and after we moved out from Pennsylvania to Florida, we of course cut contacts, so we never saw each other again. My mom, she also never saw like his mom like that. Oh shit! Wait. Got it. Yeah, she never saw his mom. My mom never saw his mom again, so we kind of cut contacts and we kind of went on our separate ways. So then, of course, I went to like preschool, and I made like a few friends and stuff, but we never hung out. We did hang out a little bit as like say play dates and everything, but that was mainly just, you know, for them to watch me play and like, you know, just be there with me rather than like actually them picking out a game and like playing with them. I just wanted them to watch me play, like, because that's how I was. So yeah, I mean, I did have a few friends and stuff in elementary school, but they were mainly not like, we didn't really hang out that much. It was just, they were my acquaintances, I would say. Basically, that's how I'm gonna go with. And by the way, both of them were like these special needs kind of kids, including me, because, you know, at the time I actually had problems. So of course I had to go in that like special place in preschool. It wasn't too bad, but you know. So imagine that thing bounced me off. So yeah, we just basically did stuff and everything, and then we also did cut contacts. And then came middle school, which was also another point in my life that was absolutely miserable, because that's when I experienced puberty, and you know, the work just got harder, and like school just got a lot, you know, stressful. So, and homework was longer. So that was another part that was also bad. And also another thing was, my peers didn't really respect me. They kind of bullied me, not physically, but like verbally. But mainly because I kind of did deserve it, because I will explain why. And this part, I'm gonna be kind of ambiguous, because, as you know, the guy I was hanging out with, that was my friend, kind of like knew me. So I'm gonna make this completely ambiguous and completely like just like very vague, because I don't want if somehow like, how do I put this? If somehow if somehow this guy actually found my channel and hears about me talking and finds that what I'm actually talking about sounds a lot like him, that he'd actually like comment about this, and like, you know, it'd be kind of embarrassing, because this guy he does like live in my area. I'm just saying, so he's not like far away. I don't know if he made me move to another state, like if he's doing college and stuff, but I don't know if he still might have lived in my area. But either way, I'm not gonna. I just want to be cautious. Bro, I got a star, but now I can't get back. This picture shows where I am. Help me! I know where he is. Oh, where is that place? It looks familiar, but then again, let me give you this picture so you won't forget where Luigi is. To view a picture, press fucking hell. Yeah, so if like somehow he found this channel and stuff and like notices me. So yeah, back in middle school, I was very like quiet and then like introverted. Actually, to the point where I kind of looked like I was like autistic and stuff, because I used to do some of the stuff and like tics that I have are very similar to what my other classmate. I did talk about my autistic classmate in my Metroid video. The same stuff that he did in high school were also the same stuff I used to do back in middle school. And what happened was, my parents actually gave me this like drug that helps me pay attention, and apparently it had some very intense side effects, to the point where I had like traits that were like kind of resembling like Tourette's. where my eyes started to getting irritated, and like I had to keep on like closing my eyes tightly constantly because it was that irritating. That's what this drug was doing to me. I mean, like, and of course my parents had to. They gave it to me to help me pay attention because at the time I was not paying attention in school, so they thought like I had maybe ADHD. So they gave me this drug supplement to help my brain focus, basically. But of course now it's not because of a mind issue. It's mainly because I had absolutely no interest in not only school but life in general. I just wanted to just teleport to a new world. That was my dream back then when I was little. That was my dream from when I was born all the way to the last days of middle school. Well, I guess early days of high school, I would say. Then after that, I completely moved on. Okay, so what happened was there was this kid that was very quiet and stuff, just like me. He was also very emotional because I saw him cry in class one time, and I was like, this guy is basically just like me. So, you know, then, I don't know how I actually, like, hit it off with the guy, like, how we actually became friends in the first place, but somehow I did, and, yeah, we became friends. But of course, I would say that what happened was kind of consequential because even though he was actually one of the smartest kids in the entire class, but he was also pretty, like, had social problems. Like, he was very annoying to the entire class, but because at the time I was not aware of human interactions and how to socialize, I had to use this guy as my role model, like my example basically, like of how to follow. So whatever annoying things he did, I also did with him. And at the time that actually gave ill feelings to most of my classmates to the point where they kind of like started bullying me a little bit. Primarily like, you know, there was this one kid that was like doing, you know, just these mean things to me, like saying names and stuff. But those were of a result of because of me, basically, because of I was setting up as a bad, like having this guy as a bad example, like doing these kinds of things to other classmates. So yeah, that was what happened. I also he was actually there, like hanging around out with me, like even on my one of my birthdays, and yeah, he was also very problematic. Even both my parents, my brother, my uncle knows him because like my birthday thing. I mean, like I don't know why I did that. I did this, but I mean, I figured why not, like you know, as a friend and stuff. But it was kind of one of the few things I kind of regretted in life. Like, so then, other than that, after like 6th grade, I then knew that this guy was just very problematic. So we didn't talk with each other that much. Even once I said that we're not friends anymore. Of course, that quickly changed, though. I mean, as a matter of fact, even after that moment when I wasn't communicating much with him, he then got right back with me. So we were on good terms at that point. But during that time, I literally stopped following what he was doing as, like, you know, as an example and stuff, and started being my own person, basically, like gaining independence. So then 7th and 8th grade were basically one of the best times. I mean, they were still like not the good times, but they were the better times compared to 6th grade. So of course I stopped doing all the annoying things that he was doing, and that actually got me in good terms with most of my classmates, especially that one guy that was bullying me. He went from one guy that I really didn't like to one of the funniest guys and actually best people, honestly. Like, you know, he was very like complimentary of the stuff I was doing. So but me and that guy actually got on good terms after that. So I was really happy with what happened. But yeah, and so that was one of my only times I actually hung out with someone back in middle school. And then middle school was over, and then, of course, and this was the last and final time where, fuck. Oh, wait. Hold on. Aha, yes. That's it. Ah, shit. Oh yeah, it was close. So, yeah, then high school rolled around, and of course I didn't have many friends at that time. Of course, there was this one classmate that actually knew me since elementary school, that actually, that actually knew me. And the funny thing was, I didn't know him mainly because he actually had a hat on. At the time, he was actually bald. And at first, I thought it was a hairstyle, but then I realized that after that moment, when his hair grew back, he never shaved it since. So then that gave me the impression that he had cancer or something. And I honestly think he actually did have cancer because in 2016, I later found out from my brother that my brother knew his brother, and they were actually friends and stuff. And he actually said that unfortunately he kind of died. So I would assume maybe he either died from cancer or from some other thing, maybe an accident. Because his brother didn't really tell my brother what happened because he was so depressed and stuff. So I literally have no idea what happened to him, but anyway, let me read this. Well, I thought I'd go crazy in there. Try to save me soon next time, bro. Yeah, you want this power star, right? Only if you tell Rosaline I found this one. Excuse me. But hearing about how my old classmate, especially from high school, actually died was really it was actually kind of a shocking, serious moment. I remember when I was in the car, I was driving, I picked up my brother from school, and he literally told me that, and I was like, wait, was it the same guy? And he was like, yes. So I was really shocked and stuff, and also that was one of the primary moments that changed my outlook in life. I literally used to be depressed and stuff, but this moment kind of basically opened up my eyes a little bit, So, yeah, we didn't really hang out and stuff. Anyway, wait. You rescued a green power star. These stars have a special power. Ask the green Lumas about them. After all, they will transform into green power stars someday. Oh, okay. So yeah, we didn't really hang out much, but he was very, supportive of me and stuff. Surprisingly, because I never really was supportive of him back, because at the time I was mostly a loner. I didn't really hang out with a lot of people, and I mostly stayed by myself. I sit next to people at lunch, but and then after that I then go out and wander around, because I'm bored and stuff, and that's just how I was. I was that one kid that stands over there and just walks around and everything. Of course, there was my autistic classmate who just sits there by himself with nobody around him. So I wasn't the only strange kid. I mean, well, that guy was even stranger. Me, I was just my own thing, and people knew I was different, but they knew I could at least comprehend stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm figuring out what to do next. Yeah, he was actually very kind to me. And the funny thing was, during my elementary school, he was kind of a bully to me back then. I remember when he was playing around with my pants, and he did something that kind of hurt me, and I was kind of crying at that point, and that was from him. And to think that, and then he later became nice to me, and then to think years later I'd meet him again, and he was actually very supportive of me. So I'm actually really grateful of what he's done. Even though he passed away from this life, I truly believe he is right now with Jesus Christ and God, and I don't know if he's maybe looking down on me right now, talking about him, and how he actually, him being in the afterlife, he got a look of my full life story and what I've been doing and all the downfalls I've been through throughout life, and maybe he could be cheering me on. That's at least how I look at it, in terms of death. So I'm really grateful for what he's done, and I wish I would have attended his funeral, but at the time when my brother told me it was already done, and I didn't know about it, so I will just say that I'm eternally grateful of what he's done, and I will never forget his presence. So I will say, God bless him and rest in peace. So, anyway, what else? So yeah, other than that, other than that, I'm trying to think of what to say next. So yeah, that's basically like how I don't have any friends and stuff. But I'm okay with it though. I mean, actually, the stuff I said before wasn't you thinking of maybe bad moments from my previous like friends and stuff. That's not really the main reason. I just kind of lost interest in this. Like I actually have no interest in hanging around with guys. Now I'm actually just trying to find, or having a girl, find me, and also me trying to find a girlfriend. But right now I'm taking a break from that. I'll explain more in detail about this whole girlfriend issue and stuff, so... what to do next? Because I don't want to do... This one's hard, Wait a minute. Ah, fuck. No. I was trying to... Oh, it was open this entire time. I was actually like, I thought it was like gonna unlock by the time, by the time like I collect shine sprites and it'll open up automatically. I think it opened up already back before, and I didn't do it, but I kind of forgot. So I'm sorry about that. Darkness on the horizon. Anyways, 3:08. I don't think my brother is home yet. I think I'll be home by around 3:30. I don't know. I did talk plenty, so... So, yeah.
Yes.
So, basically that was my experience with having, other people around my life and stuff, and, friends and all that, but other than that, I just lost interest. It's kind of funny how my brother, he has a lot of friends, and he's doing a lot of sleepovers and stuff and a lot of fun things. While for me, I tend to just enjoy just just chilling and watching YouTube videos, going on the internet, just basically being by myself, But I have no shame in that. As a matter of fact, I'm actually fine my brother being the more sociable type and me being the more introverted type. That's just how I am. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is that, as I've said, I just lost interest in, just having, a few guy friends, basically. I know to some of you, you might say, it's good to have friends and stuff, and I did learn from this great book called Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari, which you guys should get. It's a really good read, where most people find their loved ones from friends and stuff. From friends or family members, but it's mostly from friends basically. So, and I'm aware of that, but I don't know. I'm just I'm just not interested. I'm just not at all interested in in this, So that's just how I am. So, yeah, what else? Shit, okay. Ah! Gotta jump. Oh, whoa. It's like a weird black hole thing. Actually, no, it's not a black hole, but it's when you touch it, your entire body just disintegrates. It's all your atoms, are, just being splitted apart and stuff. Kind of I guess what happens when... I mean, actually, I could be wrong, but what happens when you go into a black hole? Don't your entire body just disintegrates? Your atoms get ripped apart and stuff. I could be wrong about this, but I mean, I heard it somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I mean, I don't really remember much of about black holes and everything. So yeah. Okay, now it's going this way, so... Oh, shit. It's like a clock, like a counterclockwise thing, you know? So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing that my classmate did that I really, that was also another meaningful moment that I really appreciated was... Oh, shit. Oh, okay, that's what I was supposed to do. Oh, fuck. Okay, let go. Oh, man. Oh, wow, that was close. Fuck. He actually, when I went to the school dance, he actually literally encouraged me to go dance and stuff, because at the time when I was in middle school, I didn't really do a lot of dancing because I was very, very shy. But this guy, along with this other classmate, actually gave me some confidence and helped me dance and stuff. And then from then on, I was like, every time there was a school dance, even though I didn't really dance with a girl or had any friends, I always go there to just dance and stuff just for fun. And also to see people in my suit. I always like that. So this guy actually helped me a lot, you know, in life. So I really appreciate what he's done. You know, even helping me to dance in public and stuff. So I really appreciated it. Thanks a lot. Now we go face Bowser. What? It's you! That's it, Mario. I'm gonna stomp you into space bits! I love this guy. One of my all-time favorite villains. Oh shit. He like does black magic now. Right. Got it. Bowser's such a badass in this. He's also a badass in Super Mario Odyssey. But I think mostly in this, because like with this badass music in the background and stuff. Oh shit. He got me. Oh. So he has like his own spin attack. It's like black magic and stuff. Shit. Come on, come on. Fucking love the music. Sorry. Such good range. You really should next time design his planets to not have stuff like this, you know? Maybe then he'll win. Okay. Boom! Haha! I always love doing that. Whoa! Not bad. I guess I chose the right guy to be my arch enemy. At least you always put up a fight. But it's too bad for you because my master plan is almost complete. Tough luck, Mario. This guy is such a badass. I love him. He's like one of my all-time favorite video game villains. And, you know, I was gonna say back then, he was kind of like higher, he was like kind of my #1 video game villain, like even higher than Ganondorf. But now, after playing more Legend of Zelda games, I consider Ganondorf on par with Bowser now. They're both badass. Like, they both have unique qualities in their own ways, so yeah. Guess that was my story about, like, how I don't have any friends and like being okay with it and stuff, and I don't know. Just right now, I'd just rather have a girlfriend than just have like a regular guy friend. Honestly, that's just my personal, like, you know, my personal thing, you know. So yeah. Anyway. 2 new galaxies, wow.
Mom.
We have ascertained the location of your special one. Please take a look at the circle by your feet. Oh, now we're getting close to facing Bowser. That number represents the power stars you need to reach the center of the universe. That number will decrease with each power star you recover. And when it reaches 0, the Comet Observatory will regain full power and fly as a starship again. And then we will be able to reach the center of the universe. So yeah, that's it. That was my story about why how I don't have friends and how I'm okay with it, and me first time interacting with black people. So I wonder how I'm gonna title this video, and also about a dead classmate, you know, that I know and that I personally know. So yeah, that's it. Expect more gameplay vlogs. I don't know if it's tomorrow or maybe next week and stuff, but I will definitely do more. And this time I will talk about girls and Darling the Franks and stuff. So look forward to that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next gameplay vlog.